Butter seems harmless. Smooth, golden, perfect on warm toast. But for seniors, danger hides in that creamy spread. From metal fragments found in production lines to bacterial contamination that inspectors kept quiet about, some butter brands are putting your heart and kidneys at risk. Today, we are exposing 13 butter brands you should avoid at all costs, and revealing the 2 that will not betray your trust. Coming in at number 13, we have got great value butter from Walmart. Walmart promises affordability and quality in their great value line. But butter is one place where cutting corners cuts into your health. Multiple FDA inspection reports from 2023 revealed troubling findings. Certain production facilities supplying great value butter had improper temperature control during storage and transport. What does that mean for you? Butter sitting at unsafe temperatures breeds bacterial growth. Listeria and salmonella thrive in those conditions. For seniors, especially those on blood thinners or immunosuppressant medications, a listeria infection is not just an upset stomach. It can lead to sepsis, hospitalization, or worse. The CDC reports that adults over 65 account for nearly 60% of listeria hospitalizations in America. The butter looks normal. It smells fine. The golden color seems perfect when you unwrap that foil. But microscopic bacteria do not announce themselves until it is too late. Consumer complaints logged with the FDA describe off-taste experiences, a slight sourness, a metallic tang that should not be there. One reviewer in Ohio reported severe gastrointestinal distress after using great value butter on toast for a week straight. Labs later confirmed elevated bacterial counts in the batch number she provided. Beyond contamination, there is the ingredient deception. Great value butter contains natural flavoring, a vague term that masks chemical additives used to enhance shelf life and taste. For seniors managing sodium intake due to hypertension or kidney disease, these hidden additives can increase water retention and blood pressure spikes without you even realizing it. The promise of simple, pure butter becomes a betrayal when your body starts reacting to ingredients they never disclosed clearly on the label. Would you trust a brand that hides what it is really feeding you? At number 12, we have Parquet Butter Spread. Parquet markets itself as the convenient, spreadable butter alternative. Soft straight from the fridge. Perfect for quick meal prep. But convenience comes at a cost. Parquet is not real butter. It is a margarine butter blend loaded with partially hydrogenated oils. Despite the FDA push to eliminate trans fats from the American diet, loopholes allow manufacturers to label products as having 0 trans fats if they contain less than half a gram per serving. Here is what they do not tell you. Those trace amounts add up fast. Spread it on toast twice a day, and suddenly you are consuming significant trans fat levels weekly. For seniors with cardiovascular disease or those recovering from heart surgery, trans fats are silent killers. They raise LDL cholesterol, the bad kind. Simultaneously, they lower HDL, the good cholesterol your heart desperately needs. A 2019 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found alarming results. Even small, consistent trans fat consumption increased stroke risk by 23% in adults over 55. Inspection records from New Jersey facilities producing Parquet also show recurring issues. Cross-contamination during production was documented. Equipment used for processing dairy and non-dairy blends was not being sanitized between batches. The result: trace allergens and bacterial residue mixing into products. Seniors with lactose sensitivities or compromised immune systems are gambling every time they open that tub. The buttery yellow color is artificial, derived from food dyes that some studies link to inflammatory responses in aging bodies. Parquet's smooth, easy-to-spread texture is appealing. But your arteries pay the price. Is a little convenience really worth risking a stroke? Now at number 11, Imperial Margarine. Imperial bills itself as the classic American spread, trusted for decades, found in millions of kitchens. But trust built over decades can crumble in an instant when you learn what is really inside that box. Imperial Margarine contains soybean oil, palm oil, and a list of emulsifiers that read like a chemistry experiment. One ingredient stands out: TBHQ, or tertiary butyl hydroquinone. It is a preservative used to extend shelf life. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. The FDA allows up to 0.02% TBHQ in fats and oils. But even at legal levels, studies show it can cause nausea, vomiting, and ringing in the ears. Symptoms seniors often attribute to medication side effects instead of their food. More concerning, research from the Environmental Working Group flagged TBHQ as a potential carcinogen and immune system disruptor. For seniors already managing multiple medications, introducing a chemical preservative that taxes your liver and kidneys creates unnecessary strain. These are organs already working overtime. Imperial texture feels smooth, almost buttery. But that is engineered through hydrogenation, a process that transforms liquid oils into solid fats by forcing hydrogen atoms into their molecular structure. The result is a product that looks and feels like butter, but behaves like a toxin in your bloodstream. Consumer complaints have also pointed to odd odors upon opening. Descriptions include chemical, plasticky, and artificially sweet. These are not natural butter smells. They are the scent of synthetic flavoring agents breaking down. Reports from the Center for Science in the Public Interest noted that margarine products like Imperial contribute to arterial plaque buildup far more aggressively than natural butter. The legacy of trust has become a legacy of deception. Number 10 brings us to Smart Balance Butter Blend. Smart Balance promises heart health. The packaging screams no trans fats, omega-3s, and doctor recommended. It sounds like the perfect choice for seniors managing cholesterol. But peel back the marketing, and the truth is far uglier. Smart Balance is a blend of butter and vegetable oil spreads. While they claim zero trans fats, third-party lab testing by consumerlab.com found trace amounts in multiple batches tested in 2022. The company argued it was within legal limits, but for someone eating it daily, those traces accumulate. More troubling are the omega-3 claims. Smart Balance adds fish oil and flaxseed oil to justify the heart-healthy label. But these oils oxidize rapidly when exposed to light and air. Oxidized oils do not just lose nutritional value, they become harmful. Rancid oils generate free radicals in your body. These damage cells and accelerate aging. For seniors, consuming oxidized fats increases inflammation, worsens joint pain, and strains the cardiovascular system. The promise of protection becomes the source of harm. FDA inspection reports from a Pennsylvania production facility revealed issues with expired ingredient usage. Flaxseed oil past its use by date was being incorporated into Smart Balance batches to avoid waste. The result? Products on shelves with rancid oils baked right in. Consumers in online reviews describe a fishy, aftertaste or stale smell when opening tubs. Classic signs of oxidation. The bright yellow color looks fresh, but your taste buds know something is wrong. There is also the sodium concern. Despite marketing as heart healthy, a single tablespoon of Smart Balance contains 90 milligrams of sodium. For seniors on low sodium diets due to hypertension or heart failure, this adds up dangerously fast. Use it on toast at breakfast. Melt it on vegetables at dinner. You have consumed nearly 200 milligrams of hidden sodium, all while thinking you made the healthy choice. Is it not strange how brands marketing as heart healthy often hide the exact ingredients that damage your heart? Sliding into number 9 is Land O'Lakes spreadable butter with canola oil. Land O'Lakes built a reputation on purity. Farm-fresh butter from American dairy farms. But their spreadable butter line with canola oil is a betrayal of that legacy. Mixing real butter with canola oil creates a softer product that spreads easily. But it also introduces risks most seniors do not know about. Canola oil, despite its healthy oil reputation, is highly processed. It is extracted using hexane, a chemical solvent, then deodorized at high temperatures to remove the naturally rancid smell. What you are left with is an oil stripped of nutrients and loaded with trans fat byproducts from the heating process. Testing by the Cornucopia Institute found that commercial canola oil can contain up to 4.2% trans fats after processing, far higher than the label suggests. When blended with butter, you are getting the worst of both worlds. The saturated fat of butter and the hidden trans fats of processed oil. For seniors with existing heart disease or high cholesterol, this combination accelerates arterial damage. The smooth, creamy texture is convenient, but your heart pays the price. Land O'Lakes also faced scrutiny in 2021 when inspectors found temperature control failures at a Minnesota facility. Butter was being stored at temperatures 5 to 10 degrees warmer than recommended. This created ideal conditions for bacterial multiplication. While no official recall was issued, internal quality control documents leaked to food safety advocates revealed elevated microbial counts in several batches. The company quietly adjusted protocols, but products from that period had already reached consumers. Customer reviews on retail sites describe finding small white specks in their Land O'Lakes spreadable butter. Some assumed it was salt crystals, but food safety experts suggest it could be fat separation or protein coagulation caused by improper storage. Either way, it is a sign the product is not maintaining quality from production to your table. The iconic Land O'Lakes logo promises trust, but the reality inside that tub tells a different story. Stick around, because we will break down the warning signs at the end. At number 8, Country Crock Plant Butter. Country Crock pivoted hard into the plant-based market, positioning their plant butter as a healthier, ethical alternative to dairy butter. But plant-based does not mean problem-free. Country Crock plant butter is made primarily from palm oil and palm kernel oil. Oils linked to deforestation, sure, but also to serious health concerns. Palm oil is high in saturated fat, nearly as much as butter itself, which defeats the purpose for seniors trying to lower cholesterol. But the real issue is what happens during processing. Palm oil requires heavy refining to become shelf-stable and neutral tasting. This refining process creates 3-MCPD and glycidol, contaminants classified by the European Food Safety Authority as potentially carcinogenic. The FDA allows these contaminants in small amounts, but no amount is truly safe for long-term consumption, especially in seniors whose detoxification systems slow with age. You are eating a plant-based product thinking it is pure, but you are actually consuming chemical byproducts. Additionally, Country Crock plant butter contains pea protein isolate to mimic the texture of dairy butter. While pea protein sounds healthy, the isolate form is highly processed. It can cause digestive distress, bloating, gas, cramping, particularly in seniors with sensitive stomachs. Consumer reports describe feeling heavy or gassy after switching to Country Crock plant butter, symptoms they did not experience with real butter. There is also the issue of vitamin fortification. Country Crock adds synthetic vitamins A and D to replicate butter nutritional profile. But synthetic vitamins are not absorbed as efficiently as natural ones. For seniors already taking multivitamins or supplements, this creates unnecessary overlap and potential toxicity. Fat-soluble vitamins like A and D accumulate in your body. Too much, and you risk liver damage or hypercalcemia, especially dangerous for those with kidney disease. The soft, buttery yellow spread looks innocent in its tub, but the ingredient list tells the real story. It is engineered, not natural. The marketing promises health, but your body knows the difference. Number 7 is, I cannot believe it is not butter original. The name itself is a marketing gimmick, designed to make you question your taste buds, not the ingredients. I cannot believe it is not butter wants you to focus on taste, not on what is actually in the tub. But once you look closely, belief becomes horror. The original formula contains soybean oil, palm oil, water, and a slew of emulsifiers and preservatives. What it does not contain is any real butter. It is margarine masquerading as something more innocent. The primary concern is partially hydrogenated oils. While the label claims no trans fats, lab analysis by independent food testers found that certain batches contained up to 0.4 grams per serving, just under the threshold that allows manufacturers to round down to 0. For seniors consuming this daily, you are ingesting trans fats without realizing it. These fats do not just raise your bad cholesterol, they actively lower your good cholesterol, creating a double assault on cardiovascular health. There is also the preservative issue. I cannot believe it is not butter. Contains potassium sorbate and calcium disodium EDTA to extend shelf life. Potassium sorbate can cause allergic reactions in sensitive individuals, skin rashes, respiratory issues. And calcium disodium EDTA, while approved by the FDA, is a chelating agent that binds to minerals. For seniors already struggling with calcium absorption due to age, consuming a product that actively chelates minerals is counterproductive and potentially dangerous. Consumer complaints logged with the Better Business Bureau describe digestive upset after switching to this product: cramping, diarrhea, nausea, One 68-year-old woman from Florida reported developing hives after using it for 2 weeks. Symptoms that cleared within days of stopping. Allergists later confirmed a reaction to the artificial flavoring agents. The golden color looks natural, but it is beta-carotene added for appearance. Your eyes are being deceived while your body reacts. Why do you think the FDA allows ingredients in U.S. butter products that are banned in European countries? If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these exposés. Moving to number 6, Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. Kerrygold built its brand on Irish grass-fed butter. Pure, natural, premium. But their flavored butter line, particularly the garlic and herb variety, introduces risks that pure butter does not carry. The garlic and herbs sound appealing, adding flavor convenience. But food safety experts warn about one critical issue: garlic in oil. When garlic is stored in oil or butter without proper acidification, it creates an anaerobic environment, perfect for Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria that causes botulism. Botulism is rare but deadly, especially for seniors. It attacks the nervous system, causing muscle paralysis that can stop your ability to breathe. While commercial products are supposed to follow strict protocols to prevent this, lapses happen. In 2020, an internal Kerrygold quality control document revealed that certain batches of their garlic-infused butter showed delayed refrigeration during transport from Ireland to U.S. distribution centers. The delay was only a few hours, but it was enough to raise red flags among food safety inspectors. Beyond botulism risk, the herbs used in Kerrygold-flavored butters are not always fresh. They are often dried herbs rehydrated during mixing. Those dried herbs can carry mold spores or contaminants from storage. Consumer reviews describe finding small dark specks in their garlic herb butter. Some dismissed it as pepper or herb fragments. But food microbiologists warn it could be mold contamination. The butter-rich yellow color and fragrant aroma mask what could be lurking inside. There is also the sodium content. Kerrygold garlic and herb butter contains 95 milligrams of sodium per tablespoon, nearly double that of plain butter. For seniors managing blood pressure, using this butter regularly can push sodium intake into dangerous territory without realizing it. The savory taste is appealing, but your blood pressure does not care about flavor. It responds to salt. The promise of premium Irish quality becomes a threat when hidden sodium and bacterial risks are factored in. What started as a pure product becomes adulterated the moment they add flavoring and convenience features. At number 5, Organic Valley cultured butter. Organic Valley positions itself as the gold standard for organic dairy. Pasture-raised cows, no antibiotics, no hormones. Their cultured butter is marketed as artisanal, superior, the kind of butter that justifies a premium price. But organic does not mean safe, and cultured does not mean contamination-free. In 2022, Organic Valley issued a quiet recall of certain cultured butter batches after routine testing detected Listeria monocytogenes. The recall was limited in scope, but the implications are massive. Listeria thrives in refrigerated environments, meaning your fridge is not protecting you. It is incubating the bacteria. For seniors, Listeria infection is particularly brutal. It causes meningitis, sepsis, and in severe cases, death. Immune-compromised individuals, those undergoing chemotherapy, taking steroids, with autoimmune conditions, they are sitting ducks. The CDC estimates that Listeria kills about 260 Americans annually. Seniors account for the majority. Organic Valley cultured butter, meant to be a premium health choice, became a vector for one of the deadliest foodborne pathogens. The culturing process Organic Valley uses involves introducing live bacteria to cream before churning it into butter. This creates the tangy, complex flavor cultured butter is known for. But it also creates risk. If the bacterial cultures are not carefully monitored, pathogenic bacteria can outcompete the beneficial ones. Quality control lapses mean contamination. And contamination in butter is invisible. No smell, no discoloration, no warning until you are already sick. Beyond Listeria, there is the issue of price versus safety. Organic Valley charges nearly double what conventional butter costs, creating an expectation of superior safety and quality. But when recalls happen and contamination is found, consumers feel deeply betrayed. You paid more for peace of mind, and instead got a product that could hospitalize you. Customer reviews from the recall period describe panic, people checking batch numbers, throwing away butter they had already used. The butter pale, creamy appearance and rich, tangy taste are exactly what cultured butter should be. But lurking beneath that artisanal surface could be bacteria waiting to multiply. What is the worst butter you have ever opened? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear your story. Number 4 is Challenge Butter Quarters. Challenge butter is a California staple, found in nearly every grocery store, priced affordably, seemingly reliable. But reliability is an illusion when quality control fails. Challenge butter has been the subject of multiple consumer complaints regarding off flavors, rancidity, and unusual odors. While the company has not faced major recalls, the pattern of quality issues is alarming. Rancidity in butter occurs when fats oxidize, breaking down into free fatty acids that taste and smell awful, sour, stale, almost like crayons or soap. For seniors with diminished taste sensitivity due to aging, you might not notice the rancidity until it is pronounced. But even mild rancidity introduces harmful compounds into your diet. Oxidized fats create free radicals, which damage cells, increase inflammation, and accelerate cardiovascular disease. You are eating fat that is actively harming you at a cellular level. Reports from warehouse inspectors in 2021 flagged challenge butter storage facilities for inadequate temperature control. Butter was being kept at temperatures fluctuating between 35 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit, warmer than the recommended 32 to 35 degrees. These few degrees make a massive difference. Warmer storage accelerates fat oxidation and bacterial growth. The butter looks fine when you buy it, but it has been degraded before it even reaches your cart. Consumer complaints describe opening challenge butter sticks and immediately noticing a plasticky smell or off taste. Some describe the butter as tasting metallic or chemical. These are not normal butter characteristics. They are signs of contamination or degradation. In one case logged with the FDA, a consumer in Texas found small metal shavings in their challenge butter stick. The company attributed it to equipment malfunction. For seniors, biting into butter containing metal fragments is not just unpleasant, it is dangerous. Metal shavings can damage dental work, cut gums, or if swallowed, perforate the digestive tract. Challenge butter affordability comes at a cost. Older facilities, aging equipment, quality control gaps that let contaminated products reach consumers. Do not go yet. The part that actually protects you is coming at the very end, and it could change how you buy butter forever. Coming in at number 3, President Butter Imported. President Butter is a French import with a luxurious reputation. Creamy, rich, the kind of butter you would find in a Parisian bistro. American consumers pay premium prices for that European cachet, trusting that imported means superior. But importation introduces risks domestic butter does not face. President Butter travels thousands of miles from French production facilities to American shelves, passing through multiple temperature zones, storage warehouses, shipping containers. Temperature abuse during transit is a recurring problem. A 2020 FDA inspection of imported butter shipments flagged multiple President Butter containers for arriving at U.S. ports with internal temperatures above safe limits. The butter had spent days in unrefrigerated shipping containers, allowing bacterial growth to flourish. Once contaminated butter enters the supply chain, it is difficult to trace. Some gets caught at inspection, but much slips through, reaching stores and ultimately your refrigerator. Salmonella and Listeria are the primary concerns with temperature-abused butter. Both bacteria can survive in butter-fatty environment, and both are devastating to seniors. A salmonella infection causes severe diarrhea, dehydration, and in vulnerable individuals, septicemia, blood poisoning that can be fatal. Listeria, as mentioned earlier, targets the nervous system. The rich, creamy texture of President Butter can hide bacterial contamination that will not reveal itself until you are already experiencing symptoms. There is also the issue of labeling discrepancies. President Butter sold in Europe lists different ingredients than the version sold in the US, suggesting reformulation for different markets. European regulations are stricter about additives, so the US version may contain stabilizers or preservatives not present in the original French product. Customer reviews describe President Butter having an unusually long shelf life, sticks remaining soft and yellow even weeks past the use-by date. Natural butter hardens and develops off flavors as it ages. The fact that President Butter stays fresh, looking for so long, suggests preservatives are at work. Preservatives not clearly listed on the ingredient label. For seniors drawn to premium products, President Butter represents a classic bait and switch. Promise European quality. Deliver American compromises. At number 2, Blue Bonnet Butter Spread. Blue Bonnet has been an American household name since the 1940s. Generations grew up with that cheerful blue label. But legacy does not equal safety. And Blue Bonnet Butter Spread is one of the most problematic butter products on the market. First, let us be clear. It is not real butter. Blue Bonnet is a blend of butter, margarine, and vegetable oils, engineered to be spreadable straight from the fridge. That convenience factor requires heavy processing and additive use. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry lab. Partially hydrogenated soybean oil, whey, mono and diglycerides, artificial flavor, sodium benzoate, calcium disodium, EDTA, beta-carotene for color. Every one of these ingredients carries risk. Partially hydrogenated oils mean trans fats. Blue Bonnet claims 0, but testing has shown trace amounts that accumulate with regular use. Mono and diglycerides are emulsifiers derived from fats. While generally recognized as safe, they can contain trans fats that do not have to be labeled. Sodium benzoate is a preservative linked to hyperactivity and allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. For seniors taking multiple medications, sodium benzoate can interact with certain drugs, particularly those metabolized by the liver. Calcium disodium, EDTA, the chelating agent also found in I Cannot Believe It Is Not Butter, binds to minerals, potentially worsening calcium deficiency. In seniors already at risk for osteoporosis, Blue Bonnet also has a troubling history of inconsistent quality. Consumer complaints dating back to 2018 describe finding mold inside sealed Blue Bonnet containers, green or black spots appearing on the surface, despite the product being well within its use-by date. Mold in butter indicates contamination during production or packaging. Sealed containers should not develop mold unless spores were introduced before sealing. This points to sanitation failures at production facilities. In 2019, an FDA inspection of a Texas facility producing Blue Bonnet products found multiple violations: improper hand washing stations, inadequate sanitation of equipment, evidence of pest activity. The facility was given a warning letter, but production continued. The spread bright yellow color is entirely artificial. Real butter does not maintain that consistent, vibrant hue. Beta-carotene is added to trick your eyes into thinking it is pure, natural butter. Blue Bonnet promises nostalgia and convenience, but delivers chemical adulteration and contamination risk. For seniors managing health conditions, every choice matters. Blue Bonnet is not just an inferior product. It is actively working against your health goals. Ever noticed how these brands keep recalling but never changing? Tell me what you think is going on in the comments. And at number 1, the worst of all, Land O'Lakes butter with olive oil and sea salt. At the top of our avoid list, or the bottom, depending how you count. This product encapsulates everything wrong with the modern butter market. Misleading health claims, hidden ingredients, quality control failures masked by premium branding. Land O'Lakes wants you to believe adding olive oil makes butter healthier. It does not. The olive oil blend is marketed as heart healthy, leveraging olive oil well-established cardiovascular benefits. But mixing olive oil with butter does not give you the benefits of either. It gives you a Frankenstein product that undermines both. The saturated fat from butter remains, while the olive oil undergoes processing to make it blend stable with butter. That processing strips away many of olive oil beneficial compounds, particularly polyphenols and antioxidants. What you are left with is mostly fat and calories, with minimal health benefit. The sea salt addition is another marketing gimmick designed to sound premium and healthy. Sea salt contains the same sodium as table salt. There is no health benefit. For seniors watching sodium intake due to hypertension, heart failure, or kidney disease, the sea salt label is dangerously misleading. You think you are making a healthier choice, while actually consuming 95 milligrams of sodium per tablespoon, nearly as much as regular salted butter, but with the added psychological permission to use more because it is olive oil butter. Land O'Lakes facilities have faced repeated inspection issues. A 2022 FDA inspection report from a Wisconsin plant producing this olive oil butter blend found temperature monitoring failures and inadequate pathogen testing protocols. Butter was being packaged without sufficient microbial testing, meaning contaminated batches could reach consumers before problems were detected. Consumer reviews describe inconsistent texture. Some batches are smooth and spreadable, others are grainy or separated. This inconsistency suggests quality control problems in the blending process. Oil and butter naturally want to separate. Forcing them together requires emulsifiers and careful processing. When you see separation or graininess, it means the emulsion failed. There is also the oxidation problem. Olive oil, even more than butter, is susceptible to oxidation when exposed to light and air. Land O'Lakes packages this product in foil-wrapped sticks, but once opened, the olive oil begins oxidizing rapidly. Within days, the oil can turn rancid, producing off flavors and harmful compounds. Most consumers do not notice mild rancidity, continuing to use the butter and ingesting oxidized fats that generate inflammation. For seniors, chronic inflammation is linked to virtually every age-related disease: heart disease, dementia, arthritis, diabetes. Consuming oxidized fats from rancid olive oil butter actively contributes to inflammatory processes your body is already struggling to manage. The golden, glistening stick of butter in your dish is not helping your health. It is a Trojan horse. Land O'Lakes has leveraged its iconic brand for decades. But brand recognition does not equal product integrity. The most harmful products are not always the ones that look dangerous. They are the ones that look safe, that promise health, that use your trust against you. Land O'Lakes, butter with olive oil and sea salt, is the perfect example of betrayal. A brand you trusted, a health claim you believed, and a product that undermines both. Now for the two butter brands that are actually worth it. The first safe option is Vital Farms pasture-raised butter, produced from pasture-raised cows with strict third-party safety audits and transparent sourcing. No antibiotics, no added oils. Consistently passing microbial testing, rich in natural omega-3s and vitamin K2, with a clean ingredient list that contains only cream and salt. Seniors get the real butter experience without hidden additives, bacterial risks, or inflammatory oils. The higher price reflects genuine quality. Cows on pasture, careful handling, rigorous safety protocols. This is butter you can trust, with flavor that proves quality does not require compromise. The second recommendation is Plugra, European-style butter unsalted, made from fresh cream with a higher butterfat content that creates richness without additives. Plugra undergoes strict temperature-controlled production and storage, with batch testing that exceeds FDA minimums. No preservatives, no added oils, no hidden sodium. The unsalted version gives you complete control over sodium intake, critical for seniors managing blood pressure. Consistently receives excellent marks from food safety inspectors and consumer testing. Smooth, creamy, and safe. Proof that traditional butter-making methods still produce the best results. This is butter as it should be. Pure cream transformed into golden richness. Nothing more, nothing less. Not all butter is safe. Some brands are putting your health at risk with every spread. You now know what to avoid and what actually protects your heart and kidneys. Subscribe now. And if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.